Right, today we have meal prep. So for those, oh shit. Take two, please. Take two. You- Today we have meal prep. So for those who don't know me, my name is Murphy. So what is meal prep? Meal prep is the process of planning and preparing meals ahead of time. So it can adapt to your cooking expertise, your lifestyles, and your personal dietary needs as well. So if you're like Ali, she can't eat anything, so she has to meal prep as well. So for weight loss, nutrition counts towards roughly 70%, whereas exercise only counts roughly towards 30%. So nutrition is key, and again, you cannot outrun a bad diet, regardless of how fit you are. Another quote, so abs are made in the kitchen and not at the gym as well. So, why do people meal prep? So you can control the portion sizes, you will save money, so you're actually cheaper buying and making your food yourself, especially healthy foods. Healthy foods in Hong Kong is really expensive. You'll have food to come home to, so once you're meal prepped, you can easily come home and you'll have meals. You'll improve your cooking skills, so again, when you do cook, you'll get better over time as well, and you'll know the calories inside out as well. And it is easy to track calorie intake. So for example, if you end up going out for dinner, you have no idea what they've put into the meals, and again, you have no idea how many calories you are consuming as well. But it tastes good, I'm assuming. Luckily enough, you'll improve your cooking skills as well. Well, I'd hope so. On to disadvantages. So again, it is also time consuming. So for example, on a Sunday, you might be cooking for like 5 hours, but all them meals would be batched up together to help you for your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and so forth. Again, requires a lot of planning, so we're not just going to go into the shopping market and just buy random stuff. We're going to have to plan your meals as well accordingly. And again, we cannot be repetitive and boring. So there's a picture of me with chicken and broccoli, because everyone loves going to chicken and broccoli as the answer to meal prep and eating healthy, which, don't get me wrong, it does work, but give it 2-3 days and you're probably sick and fed up of the two things. Again, people don't understand that it is not fresh. So when we meal prep, it's not going to taste like, we're just going to make it taste like as good as it can possibly get. Again, it's not fresh. So, and another disadvantage is you need to cook. So again, if you hate cooking, then obviously that's a massive disadvantage in itself. Have you guys got any questions so far? Nope, cool. So tips on meal prep, you have to count everything. So when you count everything, and I mean everything, including the oil, so how much oil you've put in as well. A lot of people, when they do meal prep and they don't see results, is because they're not counting everything. Second point is you have to keep it sustainable. As I mentioned before, do not just eat chicken and broccoli for the whole week, because my God, you'll be sick and fed up of it. Again, I recommend you actually try meal prep companies, as meal prep companies allow you to understand what fresh eating is, so what clean eating, and again, I'll give you some ideas for when you actually participate in doing meal prep as well. So try to prep smart, not hard. So what I mean by that is when you, for example, if you're buying veg, I would actually buy frozen veg because they do the same as fresh veg. Again, it's easily already cut for you, and again, you can just quickly boil them as well. So as mentioned before, we do batch cooking, so all in one day. This will help you around, my other point, cook for around 3 to 5 days. Anything longer, it might taste a bit funky, so just keep in mind in that. Again, another point is invest in quality storage containers. So in my opinion, I would always recommend using glass containers rather than the plastic containers. Glass containers are more sustainable, last longer, and again, they won't give that plastic kind of, sometimes when you reheat things, plastic ones always bend sometimes as well. So I'll skip this one for a second. So also spices and herbs are your best friends, and I really mean that. So for example, that chicken that you just saw with no spices and herbs, that literally tastes like rubber. So just make sure you find all the herbs and spices you enjoy, and again, try to be creative the whole way. Again, another thing is be consistent. So even with anything you do, like your gym, whatever your work, it's the same principle. You have to be consistent, otherwise you will not get results as well. And the last one, use meal prepping apps. So MyFitnessPal, so if you want to quickly go on your phone and download MyFitnessPal or just put whatever onto the side, just make sure you use MyFitnessPal. This actually helps you. So once you've kind of made a batch and you understand your calories, you can actually repeat, and it'll actually have a pie chart on the app that will also count your macros and calories for you as well. And it also, if you are buying out things like soy milk, for example, you can actually scan the soy milk and it'll actually come up onto the app, and then it'll come onto your pie chart as well as your daily intake. Have you guys got any more questions so far? Nope. Good to go? Cool. Okay. Your hand is all you need, so there's a general rule of thumb. A serving of protein is 1 palm, so just grab your palm, and again, depending on you, again, just a palm of protein. On a serving of vegetables, it is 1 fist, and carbs is 1 cupping hand, and for fat, you just want to have 1 thumb. So it's just a general rule of thumb. This is just an easy, quick idea for you to kind of roughly measure without actually going into too much detail. So there is 3 macronutrients. There's protein, fats, and carbohydrates. And in this photo, you can actually see that carbohydrates is not just your pastas, your bread, and potatoes. It's actually your vegetables and fruits as well. So I'm just going to touch base on these. So these are important, but I guess we don't need to go into too much detail with all protein, fat, and carbs, as long as you understand the general gist of what they are. So proteins, they are essential for muscle growth and recovery. So protein's got a good reputation, so you actually want to have protein in all your food intakes as well. So for every 4 calories per gram, there is 1 protein. Yep, so 1 gram protein is 4 calories, if that makes sense. So you're probably asking yourself, how many protein should I consume in a day? So if you roughly weigh 50 kg, you should be roughly wanting to consume 50 grams of protein in a day. Which, by the way, 50 grams of protein in a day is really easy to do. So examples, just meat, fish, eggs, dairies, tofu, and beans is for proteins. So on to fats. Again, fats have a bad reputation, but again, not all fats are really unhealthy for you. So what do fats do? They cushion your organs, so help protect them. It also helps promote natural growth and development throughout the body, and helps us absorb micronutrients. So if you don't know what micronutrients are, they are vitamins and minerals. So they help us absorb vitamins A, D, E, and K. So there is 9 calories per 1 gram of fat as well. And examples are, as of course, your classic eggs and avocados. You have olive oils and nuts. So we're on to carbohydrates, another one with a bad reputation. Everyone thinks that cutting out carbs is going to solve your issues. So it is a combination of starch, sugars, fibers, and when broken down, it will provide energy for your body system. So the energy system is glucose. So basically our energy system is glucose, and then it goes into fat. So basically, a lot of people do keto diets. Just a quick, outside of meal prep, people go into keto. The idea is actually to burn fat because you have no more energy and carbs left in your system. So for carbohydrates, it is 4 calories per gram of 1 carbohydrate. The best carbs are unprocessed carbs. So these are your whole grains, your vegetables, fruits, and oats. But I'm not saying rice and all the other carbohydrates are bad for you. Just unprocessed is always better than processed. Right, so on to body types. There are 3 body types. You've got ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. So ectomorph is the people that are hard to gain weight. So on your left here, you could probably see the skinnier people. So they've got thin builds as well. So these people do struggle to gain weight. Mesomorphs are the people we're jealous of. So these guys are all stockier and again got that natural lean look. Again, they can gain muscle and lose fat quite fast as well. And endomorph are the more blocky, so the bigger types. And again, these people are easier to gain fat. So I put myself in the endomorph scale. Again, you can be both as well. You can actually be a mix of ectomorph, mesomorph, or endomorph as well, which is on to my next point. Have you guys got your phone with you or your laptop or whatever you're using? Go on to that website. So it's www.bodybuilding.com/fun/becker3.htm. So I'll give you 2 minutes to quickly, just raise your hand once you're on the website. Okay, that's one. Have you found it, Sapna? Are you struggling? You found it? You got it? You got it? Good to go? Okay. Right, so there'll be questions. I think there'll be 9 questions. So quickly fill in the quiz. Can you see the quiz? Okay, fill in the quiz quickly. Yeah, for UK as well, quickly fill in the quiz. Again, once you've finished the quiz, again, just keep the tab open as well. We'll make another tab in a second, but just fill in the quiz and just raise your hand or give me a thumbs up whenever you guys have finished. Is that you trying to figure out? Here's a tip. You probably should know what roughly you are anyway. If you eat too much carbs, what happens to you? If you eat too much fat, again, what happens to you? How do I unmute them? Or do I just leave them muted until they... Okay, I'll leave them unmuted just now and then. Are you guys done? Okay, Kate's struggling. She's... I think it means if your middle finger, how far does it go past your wrist? No, I think it's this way. It's this way around. This way around. Yeah. So if your middle finger just touches your thumb, or does your thumb go past your middle finger? How many questions have you got left? Oh my God. Okay, have you got it? You done? Okay, okay. So it should now give you a diagram. Oh, sorry. It should now give you a diagram of your skill. Does it have a percentage? Yeah, so again, it's not 100% accurate, but it's just to give you a rough estimate what you roughly are. I'm guessing, so for me, I think I was endomorph and a bit of mesomorph. But again, you can be a bit of both. It doesn't really matter. Again, it's just a rough idea. So this is going to help you with your actual meal prep, which I'll tell you in a second over the next parts of the slides. Again, keep this slide open as well. So the test that you've just did, just keep it open and just make a new tab right now. So make a new tab, because the next one, I really hope you're good at maths, basic maths, because you must be better than me. You just need to know your height and kg. So if you know your height, obviously I hope you know your age and kg, and then pick how physically active you are. So it comes up in the little bit the bottom. So again, depends on your body type, and again, I wouldn't worry about counting macros too much, but counting calories are very important, and so is protein as well. So give me a thumbs up once you've put on the right details, and then If not, if you don't know your kg, then just do it after we're done with the presentation as well. And again, it's just a good calculator for you to show what we should be eating, how many calories we should be eating, sorry. Are you guys done? Right, so now, once you've clicked calculate, it should come out with how many calories you should be taking in a day. Can you see that? So I think it says maintenance at the top. Maintenance, I'll explain for you, but I'm going to tell you to keep that tab up as well. Maintenance, then it should tell you how much weight you should be losing per week, right? Yeah? So that's just a rough estimate. That's taking into account how much exercise you're doing per week, or per day as well, per week. And again, that is your TDE. So again, that's how many calories you should be consuming, including your exercise. Yeah? But keep that tab open. I'll explain that even further as well. So calculating macros, the funnest part. So this is basic maths. So I don't know how many calories your calculator said, how many calories you want to take, but for my example, 2,000 calories is the easy way to do it just now. So if you need to eat 2,000 calories per day and your macro split is 30% protein, 30% fat, and 40% carbohydrates. So just think about it as a pie chart. If 30% is protein, 30% is fat, and 40% is carbohydrates. So we want to roughly calculate how many grams of protein we want to eat and grams of each thing. So because there's 2,000 calories, we have to split it. So it will be 2,000 calories, so 2,000 times by 0.3, and that's how much calories you'll need per day for protein. So that's 600 calories. You still following me? Yep. And as we know, as I told you a few slides back, 4 calories is a gram of protein. So for every 4 calories is 1 gram of protein. So now we are now going to do 600 divided by 4, and that'll give you the amount of grams of protein you'll have to eat in a day. Does that make sense? Yep. So again, exactly the same as your other one. With carbohydrates, fat, sorry. Fat is also 30%, so you'll be doing 2,000 calories times by 0.3, so it's 600 calories, and then we know fat is 9 calories per gram. So then you'll do 600 divided by 9, and that'll give you 66.7 grams of fat per day. You following me, yeah? Got it? Cool, so that's just a basic way to calculate your macros and how many you need per day. So there'll be a lot of trial and error, so when you start meal prepping, you'll probably have to kind of discover if carbs are more beneficial for you, or too much fat is making, too much carbs, sorry, is making you bloated, or too much fat is making you do something weird. Again, there's a lot of trial and error. You can also skip that part and you can get a health scan. So I know a few people that do health scans. It's like a proper health scan, so it tells you if your body is more suited to carbohydrates or more suited to fats, But that's expensive. I think it's like 1,500 to 2,000 Hong Kong dollars. So again, it is worth it. I'd like to try it. But again, if you don't want to spend that kind of money, then a lot of trial and error. But again, it's also good for you as well. So what is your ideal macro plate? There is absolutely none. It just depends on your goals and your body type as well. Yeah? So even if we're both trying to lose, if we're both wanting a six-pack between like all three of us, my macro split will be completely different from your macro split due to our body types and what our body can take as well. So this is the really important bit. So we start with maintenance. So maintenance on that calorie calculator we used. Maintenance is when our body weight stays the same the whole way through. So if you're eating 2,000 calories and you're staying 65 kg for a whole month, that means you're on maintenance, your calories on maintenance. If your goal is to stay the same weight, then I'm guessing you'll be chuffed. Calorie deficit is your favorite one, everyone's favorite. It is for weight loss. So calorie deficit, we want to roughly be 250 to 500 calories off the maintenance. Does that make sense? So if you're eating 2,000 calories, your deficit now wants to be at least 1,750 or 1,500, yeah? And calorie surplus, which is the complete opposite, if you want to go a bit bulkier and gain a bit more, then it's the complete opposite, 250 or 500 plus. You're probably asking why pick 250, 500. I'll answer that in 2 seconds. So calorie surplus, when you eat a lot of calories or pass your maintenance, you will always gain fat. It doesn't matter what you do. So the goal for people who want to bulk, you want to gain as minimal fat as possible. So that's why we clean eat as well. And again, we just want to minimize fat. So excess calories and fat and protein and carbohydrates, what happens to them? They all turn into fat. So it doesn't matter how healthy you eat, they'll all turn into fat. Yeah? So if you eat clean and your maintenance is 2,000 and you want to lose weight, you'll stay the same weight. Does that make sense? Yep. And the last one is extreme calorie restriction. So as I said, why pick 250 and 500? If you go any lower, you'll end up going into, you'll be malnutritioned. It's not sustainable. It's really dangerous for your health as well. It's more of a short-term thing. So like if you're really, for obese people, to bring them back down to a healthier level. And again, it can also have the reverse effect. It could actually, your body can actually store fat because it thinks, so you'll be going into starvation mode. So basically, your body doesn't think you're going to eat anymore, and it'll actually store more fat, and actually you'll lose muscle as well, which in terms of losing muscle and gaining fat, it is not everyone's, well, it's the worst thing possible as well. So are you guys all with me so far? So just another way of explaining weight loss and weight gain and maintenance. If your energy expenditure, so your physical activities and whatever you're doing, keeping active, if that is lower than your energy intake, you will always gain weight. And vice versa, if your energy intake is lower than your energy expenditure, you'll lose weight, sorry. And if they're roughly balanced on both, again, you'll be on maintenance as well. So examples of meal prep ideas. So this is just my kind of example. You can have Greek yogurt, non-flavored, mixed with overnight oats, and topped with a choice of fruits, of your choice of fruits as well. And then I would add cinnamon powder because I have an obsession with cinnamon powder. And again, you can either add protein powder as well into that. So if you add protein powder in that, it's just increasing your protein intake as well. So for lunch, my to-go-to, and it's really easy to make, it is marinated salmon, sweet potato, and side of veg. So all of this, except the veg, can all go in the oven, and then you can just boil the veg as well. So again, prep smart as well, just don't go all out. I always tell you, keep it basic. Basic always wins. We are not Michelin star chefs over here, so yeah. So for dinner, it's just another basic one. It's chicken stir fry with mixed veg. Again, it doesn't have to be chicken. It just, as long as it has the 3 main ingredients of carbs, protein, and fat. Yeah. Not every meal has to have fat as well, or carbs. You can adjust it as well. And again, snacks, you can have fruit or veg. You can have a protein bar. Before we go, protein shakes and protein bars. If your protein intake of protein is not enough, then I would recommend protein bars and protein shakes. But if you're eating enough protein, there is no need to eat protein bars and protein shakes. Yeah? Cool. And I think, sorry, I'm not done yet. I've got recommendations of foods. So these are my kind of like my top things to eat. So soy milk. Soy milk is really good for you. Again, it's high protein, low calories, and low fat and carbs. You've got overnight oats. Oats is the holy grail of breakfast. So oats you can literally have with anything. And again, oats have high fiber. We've got carbs, protein as well. Chickpeas is another one. It's got high protein as well. And obviously chicken breast, out of all the meats, it is lean. So basically when you cook, there will be not too much fat. And again, high protein. If you're going to pick Greek yogurt is also good, but always pick natural Greek yogurt with no flavoring. It will catch you out. If you have strawberry Greek yogurt, the amount of sugar that has in it, you'll be scared. Again, I've touched on protein shakes and bars. Tin tuna, I don't know if tuna is a hit or miss for everyone, but for me, tuna is so good. Again, tuna you can mix with things as well. And again, it's high protein. And blueberries are also really good as well, as it's really good for your immune system. Vitamin E, and it has vitamin C as well. Cool. And that is any questions. Give me 2 seconds. Sugar, give me 2 seconds. My right hand man is gone, and I don't know how to work the system. Give me 2 seconds. Hey, Ali, how do I unmute everyone now? I forgot how to unmute everyone. Yeah. Ooh. Oh, I'm gonna just do it by individuals.
Yeah.
Oh, I can hear
I
them.
unmuted myself.
Oh, she unmuted herself. Oh, that gets saved. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Did you struggle? So, how was it? Yeah, have you got any questions, or just, if you've not got any questions, then you can ask me later on if you do have any questions. Yeah, I try to keep it really basic. I try to keep it really basic because obviously I don't want to complicate you with random stuff about absolute random things. And yeah, yeah, that's the most basic outlook of meal prep. For me, if you want ideas, again, as I said before, catering companies are really good for giving ideas. And again, look on to say your favorite meals that you want to make, and then try to adjust it to make it healthier. Yeah.
Okay.
So like my favorite is mac and cheese, but mac and cheese is probably a really bad example because it's really hard not putting cheese, like that much cheese into mac and cheese. And again, but you just find all your favorite things, like a Thai green curry is a good one, for example. You can make Thai green curries really healthy. And again, it's really good, meal prep is really good for calorie intake, as if you went out for a meal, for example, you don't know what they've put you don't know what they've put inside the meals, and you don't know how many calories, for example. But I'm not saying every day go and meal prep. I think for me, a sustainable way is Monday to Friday, and then weekends you have to yourself, right? You obviously don't go nuts. Don't go like, oh, I haven't got chocolate for the week. I'll eat, the week's load. But yeah,
That's my problem. I need to have like a piece of chocolate every day
that's okay,
after
and that's
dinner.
okay. No, but that's okay. That's okay if as long as you try and make chocolate healthier. So I'm not really a fan of dark chocolate, but dark chocolate is the healthier option of chocolate. And if that's not craving, then just shove honey all over it. Yeah.
What's your recommendation for like if we're doing the 9 a.m. workouts online? Like, what's a good something to eat before, or like I'm usually
Okay.
not hungry. Like I'll do a smoothie, or I don't know.
Okay, so
I'm not hungry.
when you want to eat before workouts, it really depends on the workout. Like for me, I would never eat anything before I do a HIIT workout, like a cardio workout. Otherwise, that's going to come back out. Yeah, it might not be the same for everyone, but for me, it's a no-go. But again, if you do want to eat something like a banana is okay, like something light, don't overdo it. For resistance, you can get away with it, but again, I wouldn't eat too much as well. Yeah, but usually as well, another kind of a little bit off topic, but usually after your workouts, you want to eat protein, something protein. That helps. Is it glycorhydrosynthesis? Yeah, it's glycorhydrosynthesis. But again, that's a whole new
So you can
problem.
have like a protein shake right after the workout or something.
Yeah, like a protein shake or
Lunch.
your actual meal or your meal prep that you've made. And again, but don't get me wrong, don't go absolutely nuts because you didn't eat a meal straight after your workout. Like, don't go crazy. Like, your protein, your overall protein intake is so much better than you just eating protein after your workout. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Mhm.
So, have you got any more?
Is there like is there any trade-off in terms of like eating more protein by way of protein shakes or smoothies versus eating like chicken? Like, does it?
Okay, okay, I'll tell you.
Okay.
I can tell you that one. So, if you just ate protein shakes for the rest of, say, your meal prep and you replaced it,
Mm-hmm.
you're not going to, for me, you're not going to be full. And again, protein shakes are also full of sugar. I'm
Mm.
not saying they're all full of sugar, but they are full of sugar. Protein shakes are only there for you to, so say if you were eating, you need to eat 70 grams of protein, but you're only eating 50 grams of protein in a day. It is a quick and easy way for you to gain 20 grams of protein. Yeah?
Yeah.
And it's also convenient as well. It's like meal prep, it's convenient. But I always tell everyone, do not take protein shake or whatever just for the sake of it, because your meal prep might be enough. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
And then now you're just increasing calories for nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it results all the way back to why am I not getting results?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I guess for me it's more about like, yeah, it would be more about time and speed. Like it's more
Yeah.
efficient just to make myself a shake. But I guess I was just wondering like
Yeah.
if it's not a really equal trade-off, I guess.
Yeah. So for me, if you haven't done meal prep, I would always start with just breakfast. Just get
Yeah.
breakfast started. Yeah. Breakfast is the most easiest one to do, and
Okay.
you can prep it for Monday to Friday without any problem.
Okay.
And then once you think that's getting a bit easier, then start looking at recipes and start doing lunch. So maybe do lunch maybe twice a week instead of, once you've done twice a week, then maybe next week you do 3 times a week and then 4 times a week. And then once you've hit 5, then you can actually do other recipes. I don't know if you guys like cooking or anything, but yeah, that's fine. That's normal. I'm not crazy on cooking, but again, meal prep is the only thing that gets
Yeah.
you your results fully,
Sure.
unless you buy meal prep,
Yeah.
which again,
Mhm.
I recommend you buy meal prep, even if it's for a week.
Yeah.
You'll understand what clean eating is, because my clean eating is completely different from your clean eating.
Yeah.
Like I know friends at home or other people I know, they think clean eating is, like having like what is it, like spaghetti bolognese, you know what I mean? Like off the packet, but that's healthier than what they normally would eat.
Right.
See? Can you see what I'm trying to say here? Like,
Yeah.
so if we
It's
do
all
meal prep,
relative.
we're all in the same kind of, I guess, food
Mhm.
intake that we're looking at. Yeah. So
Mhm.
is that,
Yeah.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you got any more questions?
No, not right now, but maybe later. You're
Um,
gonna post this, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So if you've got any more
Maybe
questions,
if you can post like some recipes or,
yeah, you can post some
things like
recipes.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get you started.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Because just like I love cooking. I don't mind cooking and all of
Yeah.
that. And actually like over the past couple of weeks because of all the restaurant
Yeah.
stuff,
Yeah.
I've been cooking a lot at home. Like we probably eat out like once a week. We'll get delivery once a week, and I already feel healthier doing that.
Yeah.
But it's more like the sauces and the
Okay.
like
Yeah. I'll explain to you.
recipes for that. Yeah.
So basically, yeah, right now is a good time to meal prep or like make fresh meals, because obviously you're stuck inside, right? You've got nothing else to do, and it's a good time to make. With sauces, I'm gonna break your heart. Sauces are your worst enemies.
Yeah.
It's like you've got your meal, and then sauces. You're like, they're like the ones that are like the hidden kind of like, not the hidden. They're like the ones that people think, oh, there's no calories. It's part of them. Like if you have so much sauce, you're
Yeah.
adding so much more calories. Yeah. Sauces, you want to minimize the sauce. Obviously, I'm not saying have no sauce, but you want to minimize the sauce. Yeah, that broke my heart as well when I found that out as well. So, um, but yeah, if you've got any like kind of, if you do want to know things, then just pop it into once we post it, you can pop it in, and I'm sure not just me, but the other trainers will also help on their recipes that they might like as well, compared to mine as well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Mhm.
Always
Cool.
fun. Okay.
Right, thanks for
Okay.
tuning in, guys.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank
Yeah, no
you.
problem. It's something different. There's no working out. You have to just, all you have to do is sit in with
You
it.
didn't have to do jumping jacks while you talked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's really
Alright.
helpful. Thank you.
Right, thanks
Yeah,
very much,
thank you so
guys.
much.
No problem. Right, see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.